Hey, yo, what's going on with it once again, ladies and gentlemen, bros, women, fanboys, and fangirls, and as always, otakus and Hikikomoris out there is the one, the only, of course, Mr. Nintendo Sony Freak 2011, aka Manny Wolverine. Of course, you guys are rest intros and outros on his channel. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, all their good stuff. I know this news article is about 2 days ago, 2 days old, and the other one's 3 days old, so let's just get into it. So, a lot of ass-load of Nintendo update news here for the Switch, or any Switch owners, which unfortunately, I'm fucking not one, but hopefully my financial stability gets a little bit better. Next year, 2019, I will be a Nintendo Switch owner. That's a fucking promise. That's a damn near guarantee there. So, without further ado, let's begin. Oh, I would have talked about this in a separate video, but Pokemon, the whole PvP was out yesterday. And I fought two of the freaking, rivals that were supposed to be from, different gyms, which is Team, what's it called? Team Mystic, the blue one. The one that's not really supposed to be a rival, supposed to be the gym leader of all the other leaders for the Pokemon Go series, which is a side spin-off. Just in case any people have been living in a rock lately, it's still relevant. Even though some people say, oh, it's dead. Huh. Pokemon Go is not freaking dead. It's still in fucking full effect. It's not at the level of hypeness like it was in 2016, which is by next year, July 6, 2019, it'll be 3 years since that went down. But yeah, let's get into it. Oh yeah, they got the player versus player thing. I fought the Blanche one. She was a lot harder compared to Candela. Candela is the one that controls that little Team Red, which I forgot what it was. Team Valor. I think that's who it is. And the one I'm part of, which unfortunately, it didn't really get that much love until about 2 months ago. You know, since I live out here in Vegas, it's usually the main two team is the red and the blue team, aka Team Valor and Team Mystic. I'm the one that's on Team Instinct. The one that, I forgot his freaking name. I think his name's Sparky or something. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. Let's get into this Nintendo news. So it says Nintendo's Reggie-Fils-Aime says he'd love for Red Dead Redemption 2 to be on Switch. I've been talking a shitload. I think the past 3 weeks straight. I've been talking about an assload of freaking, a lot of Fallout 76 news and a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2 news. It's not because I'm trying to gain views or gain a lot of clicks or any of that shit. It's one of the few things I can find to really talk about and be relevant when it comes to the video gaming industry, or just anything that's not really popular per se. I'm not trying to chase the algorithm, try to be fucking trendy or any of that shit. It's not that many things for me to find like there used to be. And it's a lot harder to get more deeper into a lot of other games that are out there. It's mainly a lot of indie games I really like talking about a lot more, but I haven't seen too many pop out lately. And it's literally damn near around Christmas, and I'm surprised there's not that many indie games popping out, because I remember about last year and the year before, in 2016, 2017, there was a huge submergence in a lot of freaking indie games on Christmas, around Christmas. This month, I don't know why, this year, I don't know, I'm not seeing that many of them. It's fucking weird. Anyways, let's get it started. This comes from Logan, which I can't see his other half of the name. Shout out to Logan for making this article here. So it says Nintendo of America's president explains why the Red Dead Redemption 2 is currently under the Switch, and the likelihood of it arriving in the future. Likely the year's biggest release of the Red Dead Redemption 2 series. Hopefully I have to do a second part like I did with the Sonic video yesterday, which by the time this video comes out will probably be Saturday, even though granted I'm doing it on a Friday night. Alright, so Red Dead Redemption 2, which released back in late October and only came to the PS4 and Xbox One at launch. While the cowboy adventure game is still noticeably absent from one major platform, I'm not talking about PC, one of the platform holders' executives recently explained why it wasn't present on the hardware. In a new interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Nintendo of America's president Reggie-Fils-Aime was asked why Red Dead Redemption 2 specifically isn't on a Switch, and whether or not that would be a game he'd like to have on a platform. Before I do keep going, in my own personal opinion, I think some people may or may not agree with me on this, but he's not the one that calls a lot of the shots at what happens on Nintendo. I mean, he calls the shots when it comes to a lot of the events and probably the Nintendo Directs, but as far as him having any control or say in, what goes on Nintendo Switch, that's usually Nintendo Japan. It used to be that other dude, something Kimishima, and that's what it was. I forgot. Tatsuri Kimishima. I forgot what it is. Tatsumi Kimishima. I think him or which is the other one now. He's gone already. I think he went into retirement already. So unfortunately he doesn't call shots anymore. But he still might have a certain presence around Nintendo Japan. I don't know. With Mr. Furukawa, I think he's the one that has the last say what goes in the Nintendo Switch and what doesn't. Whether it's locally over there in Japan or it's worldwide. Besides over here in North America, Canada, Europe, and the rest of the world. I think he has the last say what goes on the Switch and what doesn't. I'd be surprised if Reggie-Fils-Aime has that sort of power, but I doubt it. I mean, he probably controls a lot of the events that happen here when it comes to like Nintendo of America's events, when it comes out all the Smash Bros. Stuff or the Pokemon Let's Go stuff, like whether it appears in packs or whether it appears at the Comic-Cons and anime conventions. I think he probably has control of whether it goes over to those places or not. That's just my opinion now. But everywhere else around the world, I don't know if he has control. Like the ones in Nintendo Japan CEOs. I know they got complete. They both got the last word and they say what goes in the Switch and what doesn't. Because that's where it originally came from Japan. It was around since fucking 1894, I think, or 1895. That's crazy to believe, but it's true. Go on Google if you don't believe me. I didn't even know about that until about 3 years ago. I think it was 2015. When I first heard about it. I thought it was like, 1978 or 1980 where they were around, but no. It was 1894. That is wild, man. Other than that, let's see. Where was I reading? I was getting way too much into my feelings right there, man. While Fils-Aime said that he would love to see Red Dead Redemption 2 appear on the Switch, he explained that Rockstar Games was creating the project. They were already too far into development by the time Nintendo informed the company on the Switch. Because of this, it would have taken too long to them to port the game over to Nintendo's platform, when the first goal was simply to finish the versions that we're already working on. Fils-Aime's full comment goes as follows. Links to both of these videos down below to these articles if you don't read it and watch the whole video with me. So it says, I'm going to try to do the best Reggie impression ever. It says, absolutely. We'd love for it to be there, but then again, and this is where it needs to be an understanding of just a development process. Red Dead Redemption has been in development for years. That is predated out of any communications of the Nintendo Switch. So, from the developer's mentality, they need to move forward and finish the game that they've been working on, and then be in a position to look on other opportunities. Any game from a key third party that's coming out now, typically in the development started before any other conversation on about Nintendo Switch. What happens moving forward? We'll see. But that's how you wind up the situation with Red Dead Redemption and not being available on our platform. I tried to be like the best that I can when I tried to do his impression. I doubt he's ever going to watch it, Mr. Fils-Aime. I swear to God, I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm not trying to hate on you. I'm not trying to sling mud at your way, but you're a really, really cool ass guy. If I ever get to meet you in real life, I really want to get an autograph from you because you're really, really awesome. I've been watching you since way back in E3, I think 2006, 2007, way back when the Wii was announced. That's how long I've been a fan from you, since way back in my last 2 years of high school. You are freaking awesome, dude, man. I'm not trying to mock him or anything, but the man's cool as shit, man. Anyways, as Fils-Aime goes on to say in the comments, many other third-party games, other than just Red Dead Redemption 2, likely has its development started before the Switch was ever presented to developers. Because of this, the onus, I think it's unas, however you say that, then brings the games to Nintendo's platform later will fail to the developers, with them deciding whether or not it would be worth their time to bring it over. While we have seen some of the notable instances in the past with games like Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, and Dragon Ball FighterZ, it's not always a surefire lock that devs will bring their games to the Switch. Whether or not Red Dead Redemption 2 ever comes to the Switch will fall on Rockstar Games to decide, but if I were a betting man, I'd guess that's not likely to come anytime soon. If ever. If anything, we'll sooner see, that's a weird way of saying it, but whatever. I think that was a typo there whenever you guys said it, Mr. Logan. I'm just saying. Not trying to point out your flaws or anything, I swear. We'll sooner see that the game arrive on the PC platform. That's another typo there. But even the arrival could still be a ways off. So, yeah, overall thoughts, views, and opinions. Mr. Fils-Aime, hey, you got some, not explaining to do per se, but you got a lot of time to decide if you want to put this on the Switch or not, my good man. I'm just saying, Just putting it out there. I like how they put that cowboy hat in his head too. Oh man. I know he was a meme back in the day when he used to say, "My body is ready." Back when he used to say, "Only on a Nintendo Wii U." Alright, I'm gonna fucking stop now. Anyways, let's get on to the second one. This one's a little bit more of an eye-opener with a little bit of rivals between Nintendo and Sony. Even though, granted, if any of you guys saw the Video Game Awards this year, you saw the CEO, one of the CEOs, Shawn Layden, from the Sony PlayStation division side of video games. And then you saw Mr. X, now granted I'm not an Xbox Microsoft person, but you saw Phil Spencer in the middle, and the CEO of Microsoft and the Xbox One X, he's in charge and control all that. And then Reggie-Fils-Aime. And the three men, granted, I don't really care that much for Xbox One X. He's still out. You know what? I got a lot of respect, a lot of niceness to the man. I'm not going to say anything bad about the dude, Mr. Phil Spencer, but I got to give it up more for Reggie-Fils-Aime and Shawn Layden. I'm just saying, because I love Nintendo and Sony a crap ton more. I don't agree with everything that they do with their company, but it is what it is. As a consumer of some of their 3DS games, because I still do get their 3DS's games occasionally, but it is what it is. And I still get a couple PS4 games too. So anyways, granted next year or the year after it's going to be extinct. If you keep tabs on the competition, and this from Mr. Doodley, so shout out to him that made this article. Keep tabs on the competition, you will have no doubt that you have heard about the PlayStation Classic. Following Nintendo's success with the NES Classic, Classic system, Sony decided to release a miniature version of its own legacy hardware. Probably have to cut out my outro because this thing only goes on for 15 minutes. Unfortunately, this particular system hasn't lived up to its expectations, with an underwhelmingly library of games due to the licensing issues and some odd design choices. If that wasn't enough, tech experts have found that a lot of the games are the slower PAL versions, and a list of far more exciting games that aren't actually on the set of having been referenced on the source code. Had to get some water. It's safe to say that Nintendo's system release has done more harm than good at this point. If that wasn't already enough, a video by YouTube channel 8-Bit Flashback has now uploaded the above video of a hacked SNES, or SNES as some people like to call it now, Classic Mini running on PSX games, and doing a much better job at it than the PlayStation Classic. On paper, the PS Classic should be more of a powerful system, but with the specific game tested, Ridge Racer Type 4, this is not the case. The SNES Classic is running on the PCSX rearmed emulator and the RetroArch, which is the same as one of the PS Classics except without RetroArch. The video notes how Ridge Racer was one of the worst games to play in the PS Classic. On SNES, though, a number of aspects of the game are improved, including the controllers. The SNES controller does a better job steering the Sony's original pad than Sony's original pad does. Let me get my words right. Let's move on. 8-Bit Flashback even got Tekken 3 running on the SNES Classic, but admittedly had some issues with the sound. The summary is Sony designs a system that can quote in air quotes barely play its own games. In contrast, the SNES Classic packing additional power to ensure it can handle its own collection of games. Are you even more impressed with the SNES Classic Mini now? Tell us down below. Overall thoughts, views, and opinions. Before I get this done, I'm just going to do my fast outro instead. I feel like, I don't know what it is, I heard a lot of bullshitting and a lot of complaining for a lot of consumer and customers and collectors out there about the PlayStation 1 Classic being a really, really horrible miniature console. That it's been really, really bad on running a lot of the PAL version games. Because I know that's for Australia and Europe over there. Because back in the 90s, that shit didn't exist out here. Over here in the United States, it's called the NTSB. Or NTSC or NTSB or whatever. And it actually supposed to be a lot better than the ones in Australia and Europe at the time. But it is what it is. The shit didn't work the right way. It sucks, but it still looks good. If you want to just look at it and just put it in a nice plastic trophy-looking box, then more power to you. That's cool. I'm good with that. That's all I got to say for now. That's it. Take it easy. Peace out. Lates and goodbye. I'll see you on the flip side. Take it easy. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to. I'm out. I'm gone. See you guys soon. This is what it is. Ain't what ain't. Later.